plug that into here and start it. Let's see how it's going. Did this work? Did it function? How are we going? It's saying it has excellent connection. And here we go. Oh my God, we're doing it. um, yeah, so yeah, like I said, this streaming stuff is really new to me. I literally looked it up on like how to do this today. So, it's definitely gonna change over time. We'll see how that goes. Oh, that sound scared me. I'm so sorry. I haven't heard any sounds this entire time since I've just been talking, and hearing that sound suddenly actually spooked me. But yeah, let me get down and figure out something to actually do. I'm going to pull up a question, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I got some stuff here, by the way. Definitely haven't gotten far on this map at all, but hopefully it'll go someplace. Um, yeah, not to be discouraged, not to be discouraged. Um, my favorite actress. You know, I do not watch a lot of movies, and I don't really know a lot of actresses or actors at all. Um, if I know it's just one of those things like people have celebrity crushes, and I don't know, I've never experienced that. Um, I don't know necessarily what makes that happen for you. I also really hope my audio is coming through. I'm so, I'm like so paranoid about all of this. It's so brand new. Hi, somebody's viewing. Nice to meet you. I'm Han. Welcome to my stream. Um, but as I was saying, as far as a favorite actress goes, I am not really sure. I know that's a horrible answer, like especially after spending all this time talking about it and trying to think about it. But like I said, I don't really watch films a lot. When I do, I have like favorite actors. Like I love Ewan McGregor. Like I've got such a love for that man, for sure. He did really good in Birds of Prey. If any of you guys have watched that, I saw it like when it came out, and I wasn't really sure how that was gonna be because Suicide Squad was kind of a mess, and I was like afraid that it was gonna be bad, but he was in it, so I had to watch it, and it ended up being really good. Like I was definitely impressed with that film, or at least compared to my anticipations, and it was a lot of fun for sure. Like I watched it with a friend and we had a blast the entire time. And he did great in that role. Like I've never seen him play a villain role before, but he slayed it. um, so yeah, he's definitely one of them. I love Tom Hanks. He's definitely a really quality actor. Um, he's done everything from like romantic films to comedies, animations. It takes a lot of talent to be as diverse and as connected as he is with the characters that he plays. Like, he does a really good job as far as functioning as an actor goes. But as a person, I think he's pretty cool too. I can't say I know too much about that. I know a lot of people get like really into the media and getting into knowing people that they've never like physically met. Here I am now doing this, being like, hey, get to know me. I'm streaming. Um, but at the same time, like, I feel like you don't necessarily know them for real. A lot of things about people we just take advantage of or assume, and I don't think it's like a great environment to live in, but at the same time, it's like how you build reputation, so it is what it is. Oh, oh man, I was like so impressed that I made it and then I fell off. uh, alright, I'll go ahead and grab another question before I start rambling on another tangent. Let's see what we've got. Um, Do you have any pets? No, I do not right now, actually. Um, have I had pets? Yes, actually. Um, Not too long ago, I had a little Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Her name was Weiss. She was the sweetest little bean. Like, I got her at a pet shop, and she was so happy. Like, she was asleep when I first found her, and then she, like, woke up and went off. And she ended up being an emotional support animal. We had her in training, we gave her all the vaccinations and such. Um, and she was such a lovely little pup. But she was more so an emotional support animal for my roommate at the time, and not me. And my roommate ended up moving out. She had to go back to be with her mom, and that's totally understandable. Like, there was an actually emergency situation that she needed to be back in like another state for. And I was like being understanding of that, but at the same time, she kind of needed Weiss to be there to support her, especially since her other emotional support animal that lived in the other state was in like, I think she had like a tumor in her stomach, and it was really sad. Like, I still feel bad about it now. She ended up passing, but we knew that like she was going to need another emotional support animal, and Weiss was already there and trained and functioning. So I let her take Weiss home with her. And I miss her so much. Like, she sends me videos of her all the time, and it makes me really happy. Like, it was great to have her around. She actually made me feel relaxed. I've never been a person who's been like, yeah, I really need, like, therapy, or I need an emotional support animal. And some people feel like they need that, and some people legitimately do. Like, that's totally understandable, and I absolutely respect that. Like, sometimes that kind of stuff is a really good contribution in your life. But for me personally, it doesn't always work out. Um, and I just didn't feel like I needed it, but Weiss like filled in a kind of space that I didn't know I had. It was weird. She was like really understanding of me. She would come and like lay on my feet if she knew that I felt sad. It was so sweet. I miss her so much. But yeah, that's the only pet I've ever had. My family once had like a fish. um, and that fish passed. Unfortunately, I have a younger sister, so you can imagine that shenanigans occurred, and the fish is no longer with us. um, there was nothing down there. So yeah, that is my pet story. Definitely miss Weiss Bunches. I hope she's having a good time. I know she has a lot more room wherever she's at right now, because they're out like on a farm, and when she was here, she was in an apartment. And our apartment's pretty big, but it's definitely not enough room to raise a puppy, like to give her like a full happy puppyhood, you know? So I hope she's having a good time running around. I think they have other dogs too, so she can be a little more socialized. I tried like taking her out a few times, and we go to the park that's like nearby here. I bike around a lot because this area in the city is so compact that driving is like much slower than biking. So I bike places more often than not. And she like met a few dogs there, but they were much bigger than her, and she was so excited to play with them, but she kept getting herself hurt, and it was like such a horrible situation because I wanted her to have fun and I wanted her to like enjoy that, but I didn't want her to get hurt as well. So I had to like and I felt really bad that she couldn't experience like playing around with other dogs a lot more. Also, yes, I have like classic crafting here. You used to be able to choose whether you wanted to do I don't remember like what the format was, but it was like different over here, and then you had classic crafting, and those were your only two options. You couldn't have both at the same time. And then I got on here, and then there's this, and I don't understand it at all. I hope that for some people it's really advantageous, because for me it's not. Like, every time I start making something, I have an empty spot here because I put something down, like my crafting table, and then my organization gets all messed up, and I hate it. So, I hope it works for someone out there, but I do miss classic crafting. Um, so yeah, fun fact, I'm a veteran as far as Minecraft goes. I've been playing since it first came out, not on Xbox necessarily, But when it first came out originally, I played it on like on my, oh my gosh, my iPod Touch. Back when those were a thing. I played it on there, and it was just like a few blocks. Everything was super solid. Um, all like the pixels now have like so much of a gradient, so that you can see more of a texture to them. Definitely was not like that, but back then, everything was very simplistic. Um, so it's great now. Like a lot of the updates, I'm like, this is super cool. And there's other ones where I'm like, why is this necessary? Like, what does this block function for? I don't know how to use half of it. And no, just because you're a veteran does not mean you know how redstone works. You have to be a magician. I never got really big into learning how to do that, and I'm sure it's pretty basic as far as engineering goes. I'm actually an applied mathematics major, and I minor in astrophysics. So something like that wouldn't seem like too insane, I don't think, if I actually put my mind to it. But, yeah, I don't have time for that. um, doing... I do stuff because, like, I feel really inclined to do it, like, such as streaming right now. Like, I've really wanted to do this for a long time. I think it's been really fun so far. I've enjoyed the experience. Hopefully it'll grow to be, like, a lot more fun over time, or I'll get a lot better at this as I, like, practice a lot more. But, I feel like there's a lot of things in life we just take advantage of, or we don't do because we were like, oh, we don't need to do that. But, like, the best things happen when you're going for something and you run into something else, and it's something that you've never done, but you try it anyway. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's all about experiences. Lock it. Okay, we did it. Woo! Alright, let's see where I'm at. I don't know why I went, like, across the entire board here when I can just click to the other side, but stuff happens. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and look at the next question. How are you feeling? Oh, that's such a nice question. I'm feeling pretty okay. I'm actually feeling really good right now. Life is life. I've been doing the stuff, adulting. That's always an accomplishment. Don't ever let anyone tell you that adulting is not an accomplishment, okay? If you've gone through the process of coming out of high school and becoming an adult and etc., going through all of that, going to college, yeah, you deserve a huge hug and a pat on the back, maybe a trophy, I don't know, whatever floats your boat, because adulting is rough, man. Definitely overrated. Do not suggest. 0 out of 10 on Yelp, my folks. Like, I cannot. But, yeah, but otherwise I'm actually feeling pretty good. I've been working a lot on self-reflection and self-help. Self-help. I can English. I'm half Korean, by the way, so I have a little bit of an accent, and it comes out sometimes, and it interrupts how I talk. It's really common for people who are of Korean descent to have issues with speaking English, and it's just like a normal problem with the lisp that comes with it. So sometimes I'll say weird stuff. Yeah. I apologize ahead of time if it makes me difficult to understand. I try really hard to enunciate my words. But as I was saying, I've been working a lot on self-health, and I like made a diet. Well, I have like a diet that I already follow, but unfortunately, like I felt like it wasn't enough, and I felt like I wanted to do something more or to like cleanse it out. So I changed up my diet. I set up an exercise plan, and it's been rocking. Like, I'm a person who gets like a lot of energy from working out. It makes me super happy. And the thing is with this epidemic going on, it's been really hard to get myself physically to the gym, despite the fact that the gym that I used to go to closed down because of the COVID. And then I have like my apartment complex's gym but they were only allowing us to go in if we made a reservation, and it was difficult because there's so many people. So it just ended up not working out as a situation for me that I could keep up with and have like a healthy plan for. But now they don't do that anymore, so I can go in whenever I want. I got the key for it and all that, so that I can do that. I keep like a regiment on my phone so that I never forget it. I have my reminders set up and all that. So I've been doing exercise. Exercise and diet are two great ways to contribute to your life. I've been a chronic insomniac since I was 4 years old, so no sleep for me. Yeah, sleep is for the weak. I have a really big problem with getting rest in, unfortunately, and it used to like contribute to my mental health and emotional health, but over time I just like learned to cope with it, learned to find ways to help me fall asleep, or just learn to like not let my tiredness affect my behavior around people. There's a lot of stuff that in life like will affect your behavior with people. So it's like the food that you eat, the amount of exercise that you have, because like it involves getting rid of toxins in your body and releasing serotonin and all that great stuff. But then there's stuff like the people you keep yourself surrounded by, or the way you talk to others. There's like a lot of input in people's lives. It's really crazy like how much input we have in our lives from the people that we watch on like YouTube or Twitch, or the movies that we watch, or the people that we hang around. It's just so much influence, and it can get really, really murky. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like there's like a certain level of negativity and positivity that's poured into your life, and I guarantee you, like 99.9% of the time, 80% of your life's input is negativity. Unfortunately, that's like the environment that we live in, and people are so willing and ready to like pour negativity in your life, and I'm like, I'm not about that. I'm personally, I'm a person who believes definitely in, oh, shaky sounds. I think that's from like the mine. I think that's like an added sound. I also don't know if I turn music off of this because it's so eerie without music, but I feel like I must have at some point just got annoyed by the Minecraft music and turned it off. Anyhow, getting back to what I was saying. I definitely believe like you have a huge effect on people in your life depending on every interaction that you have. Like, we go to the grocery store, like you don't have milk, so you go down to the grocery store really quick, you grab it, you scan it, you pay for it, and you go. And within that time, you've probably passed by at least like 10 people, whether it's like a guy in the parking lot pushing the carts, or the person who scans your groceries, or some person in the aisle with you. And you don't necessarily have to say anyone to like say anything to anyone to have an impact in your life. Like, have you noticed like how much of an impact a smile has on someone? Like, it's so crazy. I've noticed that like if you smile at someone, they tend to smile back, and it's like this weird mental reaction where you can like see happiness in someone else and it makes you happy. And I think that's a great quality about humans, that we're happy to see other people happy. Most of the time, hopefully. But I feel like you should keep in mind like how much positivity and negativity you pour into the people around you, like your friends, your family, your classmates at school, things like that. Like, keep in mind like how that affects everyone. What kind of day could they be having right now? Like, they could have lost someone they really cared about, or been in a situation that made them really uncomfortable, and you said something like, you made a mention about like their clothing, or you make a joke about it, and you don't mean any harm, but it ends up being like a negative influence on them. And I don't know why I'm taking this cobblestone. um, and it's like it was an unnecessary input of negativity in their life at that moment, and it affects them greatly because of their emotional instability. So I feel like we should try to be a little more considerate of that. Um, I think everyone should consider that in general, but it's really impractical to assume that everyone all at once is going to suddenly try to be nice. Because unfortunately, that's not the kind of world that we live in, and nobody's going to try to abide by that. But I'd like to think that eventually one day we can try to be better. Or maybe we can start now. Maybe we can like reach out to somebody you haven't spoken to in a long time and just be like, hey, I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing such and such. And I just thought about you because of this. And sometimes that little bit of like consideration or positivity makes a huge difference in someone's day. I've had like a few people reach out to me and be like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I love you so much. You're such a nice person, or I really miss hanging out with you. And then I'll be like, wow, like, this was such a suckish day, but it was really nice that somebody else thought about me. And it's really cool that that can like affect you so much, you know? I don't think it's a bad thing that things can affect you so hard. Like, people always assume it's a bad thing because negativity makes you feel sad or makes you feel angry. And for sure, like, that sucks. But at the same time, um, everyone should have ways that they self-promote themselves to be positive, because you can't rely on everyone else for positivity in your life. But you also can't, like, relax if people are being negative either. Like, you have to have a plan for what you do to get rid of negativity or to handle it, you know? I personally, ironically, I'm a person who really doesn't care a lot. Oh my gosh, I think I hear a witch. What is that? It's a llama attached to an invisible man, I assume? Oh, he just said, uh-huh. Okay. I hope you enjoy your day, sir. um, I absolutely lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's my tangent for the question, how are you feeling? If that does not, like, give you a glimpse at what kind of person I am or how I'm gonna talk to you, like, I don't know what will. I started off this stream by talking about myself and having a full conversation and then realizing that my mic was off. So I cannot make this stuff up. Alright guys, I'm gonna pop up here for a second because I don't want to deal with you right now. I'm still a little bit disoriented. But yeah, how are you feeling? How is everybody feeling? Like, who's watching the stream? I know I'm saying like everybody and it says there's one person, but I don't really care. Like, if someone eventually watches this, I'd like to know. How's it going? Oh my god, creeper! I'm alive. Just barely. But yeah, I hope your day is going well. Life is full of really strange and unfortunate things for whatever reason, but I hope that you have a nicer day if it's not going so well already. Genuinely, I do. And that'll bring me to our next question. It says, do you tan a lot? That's such a random thing. Um, Actually, yes, I do. I don't do it intentionally, though. Like I said, I'm part Korean. Like, I'm half Korean. My mom is Korean, like, full-blooded, and my dad is Caucasian. He's German. And, like, part of the Korean gene is having, waxy skin. I've never known another word to describe it, but that's the word that I've heard used most often, is like the consistency of Korean skin is waxy. It's like smooth and soft, but it's not oily. And part of that is like this tendency to bronze like a lot whenever I'm out in the sun. So, like I said before, I've done lifeguarding, and I swear, like, when I went through ARC training, so that's like American Red Cross training on CPR, first aid, AED, etc. I like I went a few days of training and I was using sunscreen because I hadn't been out in the sun for like 4 years. I was an absolute vampire at the time, and I spent maybe like 2 hours out in the sun without sunscreen and got absolutely burnt. My skin was flaking so bad. My roommate had to put like aloe on me and it stung so much. And I did it for like weeks, and then eventually the burn just stuck on as a tan, and now I'm tan again, unfortunately. um, I actually hate being tan. It's a weird thing. Like a lot of people really strive to be tan, and I think that that's cool and all if that's what you want. For me, it's not for me though. I'm very much with the Korean beauty ideal of like paler skin. I don't know, I like it. It's not that I think like, oh, if you're tan, you're disgusting. Because no, like I swear, some women really rock tan skin, or some guys rock it too. Like I have a friend he's really tan, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I don't want to sound weird, but yeah, and for some people that's it. Like that's the look, and congratulations, you let the sun crisp you a little bit. You got golden brown out there. Like that's great, but for me, not for me, not my cup of tea. Um, as a little bit of a segue, so that I don't have to look at another question. Um, since I just mentioned, not that cup of tea is a phrase I use a lot. And I think it relates to the fact that I actually really love tea. Like, I have an obsession. It is a serious problem. Unfortunately, I haven't met a lot of people who are the same way. Like, a lot of my friends that I've made recently, they're just like, oh, I mean, I think it's great that you like tea that much, but I don't really. And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. Like, for sure, I get it. But at the same time, like, why don't more people like tea? It's leaf water. It's so amazing. It's really great. Like, peppermint tea is my favorite. I almost drink Earl Grey on the daily. Like, I drink Earl Grey so religiously that I consider it a mood. Like, when I'm talking about my state of mind and someone's like, how are you feeling today? I'm like, well, it's an Earl Grey kind of morning. And it's like, it's just become one of those coined terms of Han. Yeah. So I really like tea a lot. I feel like more people should like tea. Everybody would be so much better if they liked tea. No. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that comes with it, but technically, it dehydrates you, apparently. I don't know how that makes sense since tea is made with water, but, it's apparently one of those things that dehydrates you. Fun fact, you drink anything other than water and it's probably gonna dehydrate you. It's so crazy. Like, water's the only juice, the only drink, the only human nectar that should be consumed, because anything else, it's like, nope. You know that water you had earlier? Yeah, just so you could feel like a little bit healthier? It's gone now. Soaked up into that entire soda you just drank. Dehydration is another one of those things that really affects your daily life. It's so crazy. Dehydration is most commonly like affecting children and elderly people, because kids are always running around and doing stuff, so they don't think about drinking water, and when they do, they want to drink something with sugar in it because they need that sugar for energy. And then elderly people just, I don't know what they do. I guess they just don't do so much with their life. This sounds horrible. I don't know. They just don't drink water, apparently, okay? I guess they're too busy drinking tea like me. Anyhow, it apparently is like, it affects you a lot, so it makes you feel aggravated, makes you really tired. I've definitely felt that. Definitely gives you headaches. A lot of times, like 80% of the time when you get a headache, it's from like you need water. And otherwise it's like a sinus headache or an allergy headache, something like that. And then dehydration like affects your level of energy, it affects your temperament, so sometimes you're like more easily aggravated if you haven't been drinking water. It is so weird. Like, we, like, as humans, we're so dependable on this blue stuff. So crazy. Anyway, that's my rant about water, guys. I got so heated about my tea that I felt like I needed to support some other liquid, I guess. So yeah. Now I'll look at another question so that I don't continue on tangents and start yelling about coffee or something. Alright, let's see what we got. Do you type fast? That is another, like, extremely random question. I might skip this one because all I have to do is, like, yes, question mark. If I'm on a phone, I type really fast because I'm used to, like, texting people. If I'm on a laptop, I took a typing class when I was younger, so I type kind of fast on there. I'm also, like I said earlier, I'm a writer, so I type a lot. Um, so, yes, I type fast. Hooray! I hope that answers all of your questions and satisfies you for the day. Bye! Alright, I'll throw in another question. Have you ever been to a bonfire party? Yes, I love bonfire parties. I'm actually not a huge party person. Surprise. I'm not a big fan of, like, going out and being around people a lot because I'm an introvert. No, I'm actually more of an ambivert. I do either or, depending on the situation. It's funny, when I'm around people, I want to be alone, but when I'm by myself, I want to be with people. It's such an amazing gift. So I don't do parties that much, but bonfires, absolute best. Like, I love making s'mores. Marshmallows, man. Yo, nothing gets me like marshmallows. I swear, like, there's some good stuff. Fun fact, I don't like sugar. Like, it's horrible. I have a human condition. I don't like sugar at all. I know, I immediately just, like, pissed everyone off. It's weird, like, when I was a kid, I liked it a little bit, but I just over time grew to like it less and less, and now I just don't like it at all. So when I make tea, I use like a little bit of honey sometimes just to balance out the bitterness. I don't eat sweets, like I don't do candy, or you will never see me eat cake. Ironically, I'm also a baker. I've been baking for a seriously long time, and I can make almost anything that anyone requests. Otherwise, I'll just teach myself so that I learn it, because I love learning new things. But sugar, just in general, like, I don't know, I don't like it. I can't eat gummy bears. Like, there's so much sugar in them that I eat like 2 gummy bears and I instantly have a headache, and it hurts so much, man. I was talking to someone earlier, talking to them about like my experience, my dental experience, and that's that I've only had 1 cavity in my lifetime, and it was when I was a kid, and there was a filling in it, and it was so painful. Like, I had toothaches every day, constantly. And my mom was like a dental assistant, so she always claimed that she never got like the mercury fillings because they're poisonous. And a lot of people didn't know that at the time. But she like made sure that we didn't. But one of the symptoms was like having progressive headaches all the time. And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of convenient that that happened to me all the time. And then the instant the filling like fell out of my mouth, like it literally just fell out after I was eating like a bag of Cheetos, I think. And it immediately felt amazingly better. Like, there was no more pain in my face. I was rejoicing. I was having such a happy day, even though my mom was pissed at me. Like, I was on my way home from church. I was like, Mom, I lost my filling. And she's like, oh my God, do you know how much that cost? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was just chilling in the backseat, like, yes, there's no more pain. I can live freely now and not hold the side of my face. But yeah. as that segue went. But I do love marshmallows. Marshmallows are food from the gods. It's amazing. So it's such fluffy, such squish. I cannot describe. Um, I love it a lot. So there's that. Otherwise, I really like fire. Totally not like a horrible or weird thing to say, but fire is like such a warming quality. No duh. But it's like it's really fascinating to look at and be around, and then there's the light that it provides, and I've always been like a really big fan of lights. Like if I ever end up using like a face cam or something, you'll see how much like lights I have in my room. I have like twinkle lights up by my window. I have like rainbow LED lights on the wall where I plan on having my desk moved over to. I just really like light. Like light is such a great thing. I think it's cool how there's such a balance between light and darkness, not to get all philosophical, but I think it's great that there's both and they like balance each other out. But yeah, so bonfire good. Hannah, enjoy bonfire. Let me cook this before I die of starvation. I don't know if that's still a thing in this game. I've actually never gotten to the point where I've died of starvation. Fun fact. While that's cooking, I will look at another question. Have you ever broken someone's heart? Oof. I know a lot of people be like instantly like, yeah, I definitely did that, hated it, or something like that, or maybe they wanted to. I don't know. I actually have no idea. I like to think of myself as a kind person, but at the same time, I know that I haven't always done kind things. I've done my best to like try to be a good person or try to do the right thing, but sometimes that's not always the case. And that's normal for like any human being. Like I cut the same slack for any other person, not just myself. But it's like I'm trying to get out of the cave. I gotta find where I came from. I'm pretty sure it's from down there, so I need to get down there. I'd like to think that I haven't, and that in any person like I've been romantic with, or I've like considered having a relationship or something like that with them, that I've been kind enough with them or considered enough of their feelings or their situations that I haven't like brought them to the point where their heart is broken. But I wouldn't be surprised if I had. Like, I don't know. Everybody's heart breaks sometimes, and it's not always for obvious reasons. But you know, it happens, and like I said, I'd like to say that I haven't, but it's honestly probably happened at some point where somebody maybe had, oh gosh, I almost drowned. Somebody maybe had feelings for me and I didn't feel the same, or maybe I gave someone the impression of like wanting to be in a relationship with them, and then they like hit on me and I was like, oh no, that's not what I wanted, and that's my bad for like giving them that impression. I hate doing that. Like I try my best really hard to like not give someone the impression that I want to be like with them romantically or sexually or whatever, and it's not true, because I've been there. Like I've thought someone was into me and I was like, oh well, I'm into you too, and they were like, oh no, I'm definitely not, I just like you as a friend, and I was like, oof. It's not a great experience. So I've tried to avoid that. I hate doing that to people. Like I definitely try not to, but I'm sure that at some point maybe I've done something like that and it broke someone's heart. So yeah, maybe. That is my answer. Maybe. Let us see. Do you miss anyone from your past? Well, the thing is I'm actually a person who doesn't like, I don't think about the past a lot. Not because I don't like to think about it. It's just that I feel like you can spend so much time thinking about your past that you forget to handle your present. Because you also do the same thing about the future. Like, there's got to be a balance to all of it. Um, the fact of the matter is I can't be in every place at once, and I can't, like, always be sitting here thinking, like, man, I really regret that decision. So I'm sitting there thinking about the past, and it's not worth spending all that time thinking about. I love that I went and did this mining trip, and I literally just got iron, coal, and one single thing. Love that for me. Anyhow, but yeah, like, a person from my past, though, that I would consider someone that I miss. I used to have this, like, childhood friend. Her name was also Hannah, and I know that I said my name is Han, but it is it is and it isn't. I have two names. Like I said, I'm Korean, so I have a Korean name and I have an English name. My Korean name is Han, my English name is Hannah. It's kind of convenient that Han is, like, short for Hannah, so some people call me Han, and I don't mind, like, I don't really care that much, but other people get so particular about pronouncing it correctly. Um, and the she was, like, my best friend since I was, like, 4 years old, and we knew each other for over a decade. And then, like, one day, like, she got hit really hard with a situation that, like, no one should be in, where a friend of hers, like, multiple friends of hers, all in the same week had, like, commit suicide. And then one of her friends, like, lost a grandmother, and she was really close with her too. And it was, like, such an emotionally tearing experience that she went through that she ended up pushing me out of her life. Like, she started treating me like crap, and then was like, I don't want you to be around anymore. And it really hurt me because I was super close with her. Like, she was like a sister to me. And I tried multiple times to reconnect, and she didn't let me back. So I let it go, and I moved on. And, like, years and years later, like, last year, I think it was, she contacted me and was like, hey, I know it's been a long time, and we had, like, a really shitty situation, but wanted to let you know that I was thinking about you, and, you know, I'd love to talk again soon. And we had, like, one phone call, but I was like, yo, I I can't, like, pretend that you didn't treat me like crap. What happened is what happened, and that's okay, but at the same time, I can't, like, just let you back into my life like nothing happened. And sometimes I don't know, sometimes you can draw the line with that, sometimes it's not okay. I don't know. But yeah. So I miss her a lot, but at the same... Oh, need that. I miss her a lot. At least I miss her when I knew her really well, but I don't feel regretful of my decisions, though. Right. Let us check the next question. Have you ever been on a horse? I have. Fun fact, I grew up on a farm, actually. I'm from up north, and up there I had, like, lived on a farm when I was younger, and I used to play out in the cornfields. The sunflower fields were, like, my favorite. And I actually didn't ride on a horse then. I rode on one, like, way later. I can't remember when exactly the experience was that I did this, but I know that I have. I don't know if that is enough explanation, but I swear I've been on a horse before. I've also been on an elephant. I know that's super random to throw in the conversation, but yes, I have. So yeah, woo. Alrighty. Have you ever been out of your province or state? Yes. Like I said, I used to live up north. I've moved around a lot in my lifetime. I have lived up north. I've lived in the Midwest. I've lived down south. I've been all over the place. But as far as, like, I'm sure the question means more like, have you gone out of the country? And no, I haven't. I had the opportunity once to go to Puerto Rico, which technically isn't out of the country. It's one of the U.S. Commonwealths. But I like turned it down. It was like an opportunity where I would help them rebuild houses and help people out after the hurricane. We had a Hurricane Irma, yeah, and it absolutely wrecked, like tore up um, Puerto Rico. And I speak Spanish fluently. And I've also learned like Puerto Rican Spanish because it's a little bit different than regular Spanish. It's more slang, so it's slightly different. But I have a lot of friends who are Puerto Rican, and they taught me. And so I would have gone there to be an interpreter and like help them build stuff because I have experience with building and construction and all that. But I ended up turning it down because it was super expensive. Like they wanted me to put $2,000 into like getting there, like a flight there, and getting a hotel, and then paying for my building materials to build the houses. And as much as I'd love to like help people and build houses for them, like I would love that. I cannot afford that. At the time, I was still a college student, and yeah, could not monies. Adulting is too expensive. So that ended up being that. Do you play the Wii? I do not. I actually don't think I've ever gotten into Wii. I played it like once or twice in my lifetime, but there's nothing about it I find extremely fascinating. I think it's a great concept that you can like move and it's more of like registering the wand, so it's registering what you're doing, and that's great and all. But at the same time, like I'm not that interactive when it comes to gaming. Sorry for the voice crack or whatever the heck that was. Um, I don't know. I'm good. I'm good with my remotes. They're chill. I'm okay over here. Let me see where I can put spider webs up here. But yeah, I never got really into that. So no, I don't play Wii. Are you listening to music right now? No, I'm not. Fun. It's weird. Like I listen to music 24/7, like all the time. Music helps me sleep. Music helps me think. It helps me write. It helps me keep my emotions in check. And I'm just a person who feels like really heavily musically inclined. Like it's a great outlet for me emotionally. So I just love to listen to music all the time. But ironically, I'm not listening to anything right now because I'm streaming, and I didn't want to like overload my Xbox by playing Spotify at the same time. My laptop is also helping with the streaming on YouTube, so I was like, I don't want to touch that one either. But I could technically do it on my phone, but if I'm streaming and it goes to YouTube, I know that there's like copyright issues, and I didn't want to like deal with any of that because I haven't read into that enough to be aware of how to fully handle that. So I figured better safe than sorry. I'm also in a pretty good mood right now. Like I'm okay. I think I'm fine. Um yeah, I mean if anyone wants to let me know in any sort of comment section. I pretty sure there's comments on Twitch and on YouTube. But let me know like what do you like listening to? I love learning about people's music. Like suggest me some artists. I will listen to them. Like I will legitimately go out and listen to it. I love music and I love finding new stuff. I especially love promoting new artists. Like music is such a great thing. So underrated. I don't know. In this day and age, actually, music is definitely supported enough for me to not like have to worry about that. But at the same time, I still think it should be bigger than what it is. Alright, I'm asleep because why not? So yeah, let me take a look at another question. Uh, do you like Chinese food? Oh, okay, okay. That's a good question because like there's Americanized Chinese food and then there's Chinese food. Americanized Chinese food? No, I'm not a fan of. I don't go get takeout or anything like that. It's all like super salty and really gross. I don't know. There's stuff about it that's really fishy, even though it's like more often than not made by actual like people from China, maybe question mark of Asian descent. But I personally though I've had food like Chinese food from a Chinese woman. Like she was this really old lady. Her name was Lily. She was so sweet. She made me some like lo mein, like chicken lo mein. Oh my god, it was such an amazing experience. So different from like what's at takeout, but definitely great. 10 out of 10 suggest. Like I do recommend for sure. But yeah, let me go ahead and do that, and we're done with that. Did I do the stuff? I didn't do the stuff. I really don't know what I just did. I'm used to fast crafting, and I don't know how to do that with this. So I'm just gonna repeatedly click A. Like I said, it's been a long time since I played Minecraft, okay? Please don't judge me. I felt like if there was anything I was gonna do to stream and like talk at the same time, it'd have to be something that's, it's not requiring my full attention. Like I like to play Siege, and that requires my full attention. Like I have to be listening to music when I'm playing Siege, because I like to be like really into that. It's just so much fun. I used to have like a competitive team that I played with for that, but yeah, I figured like I was like Minecraft, why not? I have a few games that I could like technically consider relaxing enough to do that with, but I just felt like this was it. I mean, you can't go wrong with Minecraft, right? I'm gonna actually go hunt for some food because apparently I'm low, so we're gonna do that now. I also know that it's probably distressing to see the single iron ingot in my inventory right now and this entire mess over here, but I promise I will fix it. I promise. I actually don't like making promises a lot. I feel like it's a term, and it's like a situation that people take advantage of like way too often. They use it so. Oh my god, I hate baby zombies. Get it out of my life. There we go. I feel like we just so loosely use promises to be like, yeah, no, everything's gonna be okay, I promise, and then everything's not okay, and I'm like, okay, well, what does that even mean now? Like, I don't know whether to take you seriously or not. So, I feel like if you're gonna try to put meaning into your promises or meaning into your word, then don't use it so loosely. Like, legitimately only use it when you can afford to promise it. Like, I don't know. It leaves so much up to the stakes of, like, fate or destiny or whatever you have it, whatever you believe in, whatever's gonna happen. Just leaving it to that. And, sometimes that can be pretty dangerous. I personally take too much pride in, how strong I consider my word to be to care enough, or like to care enough to like use the term promise that loosely. So I don't. But it's like it's okay to use it more loosely and agree with that. Like I don't know how to explain it so much. But I've met a lot of people who are like, yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it's just like for reassurance. And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. Like, for sure. I like to consider myself a person who's really understanding. Like, I try very hard to put myself into other people's shoes so that I understand or can, like, relate to how they're feeling. Fun fact, I have a really low emotional intelligence. Unfortunately, I was, like, born with this weird balance of hormones. So I have like an almost equivalent. What is that? Oh, it's a little bit of XP. I was like, what is that? It looks so cute. I have like an even balance of. Well, it's not absolutely even, but a more even balance than normal, or what should be the case with estrogen and testosterone. So my emotions don't get so out of whack, and when I have my period, I don't go crazy. Like I don't want to rip your head off. And part of that is that I have a really low emotional intelligence that, like, if you say, hey, I feel this way, I'm going to be like, that's great. What does that mean? I want to understand. I wanted to show you guys the Limit Nether portal built here. Oh, I don't want to go in there yet. I know that there was like a big Nether update, and this is probably part of it because I'd never seen this before. Um, I've actually haven't gone into the Nether since the update has been done, so that'll be cool. Um, I'll probably need to like update my inventory before I head in there, but yeah, I thought that might be interesting. I made it at least, so it's there for whenever I feel ready to go, into the Nether for funsies. There's not a lot you can I don't know. Some people are like, there's so much to do in the Nether. I love it in there, and then there's other times they're just like, there's nothing in there for me. I don't like it. And I think I'm one of those people who are like, there's nothing in there for me. I don't like it because it it's there's certain things that you have to go in there for. Like, my end goal is to make the end portal, and battle the dragon and all that jazz. And so that means I need some blaze rods. So I kind of have to go to the Nether for that. And I don't mind like blazes. I mind like, what are they? The Ender skeletons, is that what they're called? They're the black ones. They're mean. I don't like them. They've killed me too many times. I love zombie pigmen. They have such personality. They're so cool. I don't know if there's like anything different about the update with them now too, but I think I remember hearing that. Not a huge fan of gas at all. And then as far as resource materials go, there's nothing great there either. Like, you can get nether wart, I guess, if you want to have some awkward potions. So amazing. Definitely needed that. Oh, I forgot I found this spawner and I, like, dried it out. It's just chilling. But yeah, so it's not, like, the place for me. I don't get really excited to go there or anything like that. I just go for the materials that I need, and that's about it. But yeah, my end goal is usually just, like, the end portal. But yeah, a little bit of a Minecraft rant. I got plenty of rants, trust me. Yeah, I actually, I think I said this earlier, but, I don't consider myself, like, someone who's suitable for things like putting out content online or streaming or something like that, because I'm, instinctively introverted, and I don't consider my conversation, like, interesting, or, I don't know, I don't say that it's not valid, I just don't think that it's suitable for, like, the content that I would want to put out, and, I feel like there's something for everyone, so I might as well give it a shot, but, I don't, really feel like I was built for this, or I was made for this. Like, this is what I'm destined to do in my career and whatnot. As far as my career goes, since I can talk about that now, I actually am studying to be an aerospace pilot. So, it's like an astronaut, but who flies the ship. I love space. I've loved it for a very long time. Like, space and I have had a very intimate relationship for a long time. And like I said, I'm studying applied mathematics and astrophysics, because I was originally studying to be an astrophysicist. But I found that I have like such a passion for exploring, and I'm definitely better at handling things physically than I am scientifically. Like, I love science, but it's like a lot of work. I know that sounds horrible, but it really is. It's just a lot of work, man. And I didn't feel like I was studying astrophysics for a long while, and I was like, this doesn't feel like the fit for me. And I don't think it really was. I feel really happy with math. Like, I love math so much. It's crazy because, like, when I was a kid, I hated it. Like, I hated doing math classes and all that jazz. And I ended up being 2 grades ahead in it. Like, I skipped over pre-algebra, and I I'm already a grade ahead, or I was a grade ahead because I did first and second grade in the same year. It was like a year that I went to private school, and private school was so much different than being homeschooled. So I had a lot of extra time to do stuff. So I like finished classes really early, and then nobody was done to play with me. So I continued doing classes, and then I just ended up being way ahead. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm ahead, I'm just going to take advantage of this and do more classes. So I took second grade in the same year. That would be, a good investment. I mean, I definitely was. I graduated high school when I was like 18, or 18. That's normal. I was 16. I could have graduated when I was 14. Unfortunately, the school that I went to was really bad at paperwork, as I seem to have such great luck at schools and paperwork. And they lost my transcript and ended up forcing me to take classes that I'd already taken. And was that not fun? Like, I took U.S. history all over again. I took government again. I took chemistry again. Things like that, where some of the teachers like understood that I was already ahead and gave me different content. Like, my chemistry teacher was a really cool guy. He was a college professor, so he gave me his college book and let me just take the college class instead of doing normal classes. So I always got like a free pass out of class to do that. And then I had another teacher who was in the army, and he was teaching my English class, and he was like, yeah, you're way ahead of the game. Go take a dual enrollment class instead. So I did that. And then I did the U.S. history because I actually really like U.S. history. I at least like learning about it. The history itself isn't honestly that great. But I do really well in it, and there's like a grading system of 0 to 5 on this grade scale, and 5 is really hard to get. Like, you have to be in the top 1% of like the grade to get that, and I did it. And I was like, well, that's probably because I took it like before this. It kind of helps when you take a class ahead of time. It's very nice. So yeah, I did the same thing in college with Spanish and creative writing. Like, I've taken so many creative writing classes as a writer. I even took playwriting so that I could like grow my dialogue better. And it just like it ended up being a free like A. Spanish was as well because I already spoke it fluently, and it was just really nice and easy to get done. So sometimes that's nice, but when you're in high school and you just want to get out, it's not so great. Like, you don't want to be doing nothing the whole time. So that's why I graduated a little later, but that's probably for the best. Like, graduating when you're 14 years old is probably not the best call to make because you're still not ready to adult. I wasn't ready to adult when I did. I'm still not ready now. But yeah, it's not a great experience. But yeah. Let's see. What's another question? Why is that on there twice? How many sweatpants do you have? This is another weird one. I think I only have like 2 pairs of sweatpants. Not gonna lie, I love my sweatpants. Like, I'm literally wearing them right now. Like, for sure, they're the best. I love it. It's so comfy. But I'm not one of those kinds of people who wears them out in public a lot. I wear them like casually if I'm with like a friend or I'm with my partner or something like that. But otherwise, like, I don't really wear them unless I'm just trying to be comfy. So I only have like 2 pairs, one for exercise and one for like when I'm lifeguarding. And then the other is for just lounging around, which I'm wearing right now. So yeah. Let me go ahead and scroll down. Let's see. I'm actually not sure how much longer I want to keep this stream going. And I'm not doing anything right now. I don't know. I haven't really like had like a time block that I wanted to cut off. Like at the beginning of this, I said maybe an hour, maybe an hour and 30 if somebody watches. So I feel like a little better. Um, but let's see what we can do about this. Um, going to my stream settings, trying to help it out a little bit because it's saying something about the bitrate. My Wi-Fi is actually really good, so it was like, yeah, go all the way, and I'm like, okay. I'm trying to get it to do that. But yeah, I can't find it. It's okay. I'll figure this out. Like the thing is I'm sure that over time I'll grow to be a lot better at this than I am right now. But you know, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up in the chat. I know there's nobody here, but I'm just gonna say hi. How are you feeling? Since that seems to be the question for today. I think nobody asked that question enough. It's really important to know how you're feeling. It's not how you're doing necessarily, because life is life, man, and gonna be hella crazy. And yeah, it's not always great, but the way you're feeling and handling it is super important. So I'd love to know, like, how you're feeling. Alright, so now that I got that done, I'm going to go ahead and continue, because I need to do stuff. Let's find another question. I feel like I'm going to look back on this one day and be like, oh my god, that is so cringy. Let's see. Maybe I'll strip mine for a bit. I know that's super relaxed. Like, if you're not a fan of it, I am so sorry. But, it's actually super therapeutic to me. And I'm gonna do it just to, like, maybe come across diamonds. I should check my amount of, like, iron. I guess I'll get by with that. And if anything, I'll, like, burn some down here. But yeah, like, I guess I'll look for, like, diamonds maybe, so I can hopefully have some weaponry or some armor when I go into the nether. But yeah, we will try that. I've been going down that way, and that's what led to the mine shaft and all that. Maybe I'll go this way. I know that leads under a lot of water, so it's kind of risky. Maybe I'll go this way. Alright, we'll do that. Decisions are made. Fun fact, I'm actually really bad at making decisions in real life. Oh god, I hate it. Like, my least favorite thing is when my boyfriend's like, so where do you want to go to eat tonight? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. I really don't. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's so hard being indecisive. I have zero preference. And part of that goes back to, like, my childhood when, like, my family didn't really want me to have a preference because they just wanted me to be okay with everything. And that's cool and all, but it wasn't, you know, the best experience. And it kept me from, like, discovering a lot about who I was and a lot about what I like, you know? And, so I don't have a huge opinion on what I like, you know? So when it comes to food and stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't eat out a lot, so I don't have a lot of experience, like, with places out, especially where I live, since it was this summer that I moved into this apartment, and I'm, like, still trying to get used to all the food and stuff in the area. So it's a work in progress, but I try really hard. Like, on some days, I'll be like, you know what, I want to go to this place, and I'll try to be decisive, and be helpful that way, but it's not always like that. Unfortunately. I say the word unfortunately way too much. I just realized that. It's such an unfortunate place to be. I don't know. I guess I just always thinking on the negative, apparently. But yeah, I try really hard to be decisive if I can, but if I can't like fake it. Part of having a low emotional intelligence is that I can't fake emotions. Like, it's really hard. It's weird. I feel like I come across as apathetic, and for some people that's really offensive, and I really try not to be. But then it means like I can't fake it. Like, I really can't fake happiness. Anytime someone's like smile for a photo, and then I'm like half smiling, and they're like, "Yo, that's not a smile," and I'm like, "Well, I can't smile unless I'm happy." I'm sorry. I don't know if that's relatable at all, but yeah, that's how it is for me. Maybe water. Maybe I'll go eat after this. Like, I don't know what sounds good right now. I actually have a ton of leftover. That was such a stupid idea when I knew that there was gravel nearby. I have a ton of cowboy dip, so it's basically this dip that's made out of like, it's like a salsa. It's made with I don't know what the heck this is. I'll try to block it up and just pretend that there's no water. Okay. I know that's so janky. But yeah, it's like pinto beans, corn, kidney beans. Oh my god, it didn't work. Black-eyed peas, or not black-eyed. Hey, is it black-eyed beans or black-eyed peas? This is not great. I'm such a great conversationalist. I'm not entirely sure. But there's that. There's some tomato, a ton of cilantro, some lime. I put hella lime zest in there. Some onion, some garlic. It's really good stuff. Like, it's great, but the recipe always comes out super huge. And I was like trying to make a meal for my partner and and I finished it. Like, we made it together, and then I got a chip out, you know, like one of those tortilla chips that like scoop stuff up. And I got it out, and I put some on it, and I ate it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I was like, but he always complains that he's like not great in the kitchen. So I was like, okay, I will give him a bit and ask him what he thinks I should add, so that he can like apply himself more when we're cooking. And I was like, yo, babe, come take a taste. And he's like, oh, I don't like salsa. And I was like, we literally just made this entire bowl of salsa, and you're just now telling me you don't like it. And he's like, yeah, I don't really like it. So I've had to eat this thing for the last few days. It's so much. And it's good. Like, it's good stuff, man, but it's all I'm eating now. It's healthy for you, but it's hard. Have you ever had like a food that you've had to eat repeatedly for a long period of time? I know that there's always that question that people ask. They're like, if you had to eat one food like for the rest of your life, every meal, what would it be? And they're like, they give you choices or whatnot, and it's like the weirdest stuff. But the thing is, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, you're gonna get tired of it anyway. Your body needs like specific nutrients, and it's gonna get pissed off that you're not giving them a variety, you know? I love that I just used they, them pronouns with your body, because I was like, gotta be supportive here. And I do that by default. When I was in college, I was the president of a pride club, and I was in student leadership. So I'm really used to being specific about pronouns and communication and all that, because it is really important. I know that for some people it's really like difficult to understand. Well, that was a scary sound. I don't know what that was. Sorry, just zoned out for a moment as I heard that sound. I was like, oh my god. See, this is why, oh my god, okay, I'm going on so many tangents, and I promise this one's worth it, but, I really want to get into playing horror games. Like, I love them so much. Like, I hate horror films because They're all like the same, and I watch them to laugh at them because they're all hilarious. There's only a few that I've come across, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a pretty decent film. And then there's like classic ones that you watch for funsies, but otherwise, they're not so great. But games can go so crazy. It's really awesome, like how creative you can get with something. I think this leads to the ocean. I don't know. I hear bats, but I'm seeing ocean, so I'm gonna stop that one right there. I think it's really great how creative people can be with that. A lot of the horror games that I support are actually made by people who just make games. And I think it's really cool that like you have that self-expression. It's so awesome that you can make whatever you want. And because of that like free range, you can make some really scary stuff. And that's so cool. I love it. And I've always wanted to like play horror games and then like post my reactions to them and all, because that's always entertaining. Like it's really fun to watch people scream at stuff. But and I don't know, seeing myself frightened doesn't sound like a great time, but who knows. I think it would be a lot of fun to try. So I would love to do that eventually. If anyone has any suggestions on what to play, I'd love that. I definitely love like Japanese horror games, anything that's like, I don't know, they're really creative over there. Like they come out with some really, really cool stuff. And they come up with some really stupid stuff, but I think anybody does that. So yeah, suggestions would definitely be accepted. I would love suggestions on like what content you guys think I should produce. Like, I don't know, I'm a really diverse kind of person. So if you say, okay, I want to see you do first-person shooter, then I'll do first-person shooter. But at the same time, like, if you ask me to do something like RPG or maybe like, I don't know what to call them, but like stuff off of stream that's like self-made or something like that. Heck yeah, I'll do any of it. Like, I'm super open to suggestions, super open to critique. I'm definitely a believer in kind criticism and like learning from that. And I'd really like to put stuff out there that's gonna be really fun and entertaining. If I figure out how to do it, because the thing is I haven't built a PC in a long time, so I don't have one at this apartment. I just have my laptop, and it's great, but I don't know if I could stream off of it. I feel like it'll get too overloaded. But I've wanted to do Among Us, since that's pretty big right now. It is a fun game. I don't always feel the urge to play it, but I feel like that would be a lot of fun. I'm a very specific kind of player. Like, I think I'm definitely the detective. My color is white. I really like being white with like the cherry on the head, and I always have like my little baby crewmate, you know. I've met like some really cool people on there. It's so much fun. I really wish there was a way to like make friends with people on Among Us. But yeah, so hopefully I'll stream that eventually, and maybe that'll get some good feedback. I really hope that that's maybe something you guys want to see, or if there is something, please like feel free to let me know. I'd love to like try doing something new. Unfortunately, I won't be doing any like art or writing on my channel as of right now. I might eventually, but that's just not my cup of tea. Like I do it for myself as a form of self-expression, and I do writing professionally, but I don't do that. I wouldn't do that on this kind of forum, you know. For right now, I'm just gonna stick to games. So let me know. Or I could react to stuff. I don't know. Like, I'll eventually do a face cam and all of that, but I don't know about my reactions. I feel like I don't know if anyone wants to see me react to stuff. Like I said, this is definitely a test run. It's just to see, like, put myself out there, see what happens. I am putting out stuff that meets a certain audience, if any, And if so, what content should I put out for that audience, you know? Because knowing what you guys want to see is really important to me too. Like, I'll definitely do stuff that I want to do. Like, I've always told myself that when I build my next PC, the first game I'm going to play on it is Firewatch. I've been saving that game for years. I cannot tell you how long it has been on my Steam. And I wanted to, like, start it off by doing that, and I don't know. I'm really excited for it. I've purposefully kept myself away from anyone's reviews on it and any content on it so that I know absolutely nothing about it when I go into it. But my brother was like, yo, this is a really good game. It's a really good storyline one. You're going to love it. I really think you should play it. So I will do it. But I want my Genuine to be absolutely accurate, especially if it's a story one. Like, there's plenty of ones I've wanted to do. Like, I did Doki Doki Literature Club. I did, Walking Dead, and I did Last of Us and all that jazz, and it was so cool. Like, I love Last of Us. Like, I can't. It's gonna be a whole tangent if I go on to Last of Us Part 2 and what I liked and what I didn't like about that. But I can't play those games now for this because my reaction is gonna be genuine. Like, maybe DDLC only because, like, I guess spooked. And there's been, like, versions of it or, like, knockoffs of it that I've heard are really good, or people suggest, like, trying, and I'd love to, like, give it a shot, but those are ones I haven't done yet, you know? So, maybe eventually we'll get into that. But, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I was like, wait. Anyhow. So yeah, I'm probably gonna cut off the stream soon. I'm getting a little tired. I'm super hungry. The weather's really cold here, so we're getting closer to, you know, winter time and all that. And I've answered a lot of questions. I feel really satisfied with this. I think it's been a really good time. Like, I've personally enjoyed it. I hope you guys have. Like, this has been great. Hopefully next time I could put out something that's a lot more interesting than me running around on Minecraft and not really accomplishing much. My apologies, but I know that that's literally what I've been doing. I've just been out here, sorry for brushing the mic with my finger, just strip mining or picking up some iron here and there, but that's about it. Otherwise, maybe I can put out something more interesting, something more fun. I'd love to. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Maybe I'll answer, like, one last question before I sign off. So yeah, let's see. What do we have? I just want something good, you know? I don't know. That sounded so weird. The most useless thing you know how to do. Oh no. The most useless thing. See, the first thing that came to my mind is, like, the stuff I can do with my feet, but I feel like that's useful. Like, all the time I'm multitasking, and I need to, like, shut a drawer or start my dishwasher, and I just use my feet. Like, I can play the piano with my feet. That's how much I use them. The most useless thing I know how to do. I guess, well, this is more useful to other people, not to me personally. Don't tell the FBI, but I know 5 different ways to make methamphetamine. I know that's super random, but it's from a college experience. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, someone was like, hey, I thought this would be really interesting for you to know, and then they taught me, and I was like, oh, that's great. I'm never going to use this because I don't do that, but thanks. So yeah. I apologize if at any point I've been super annoying, or maybe my mic's cut out, or it's been too loud. Like, please let me know if it's too loud. I'll fix it. Anyway, I consider myself a loud person, even though all that people ever tell me is to, like, speak up because I'm shy. But yeah, please let me know what I can do to make this a little better, or a little more enjoyable, or more entertaining. I would love to like make that experience better for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like this has been a amazing experience. Like I've enjoyed it so far. There's not much going on, but it's been so much fun. Anyway, um, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. Like, that's awesome. Your time is important to me too. So, thank you for sharing that with me. And I hope that you guys have a lovely day. And have enjoyed all the nonsense that I have spurred out. I may eventually talk about that in maybe another video. But yeah, there's a reason why my name is Adorable Nonsense on there, but I just go by nonsense. So, anyway, once again, thank you so